I decided to do my persuasive speech assignment on why I think firemen's pay should be increased. And just to, before the speech really starts, just really kind of wanted to go over a few things about what it's like to be a fireman. Most firemen work 24, 48 hours or 24, 72. So that means 24 hours on, 48 off, or 24 hours on, 72 off. There's even some departments that do 10 hours on, 14 hours off. That's for more like if you're busy, big city departments that'll do a shift like that because the crews are so busy. And just some a little bit basic information. The average pay for firemen is right around $32,000 a year. And what that really fluctuates at is goes anywhere between $11.50 an hour all the way up to like $16 an hour. In the year 2015 so far, there's been 307,000 jobs as a fireman. Most of those are like small local government jobs. It was also voted the most stressful job of 2015, and it was voted that because it has the highest rate of injuries and illnesses of all occupations. That's including things that happen on the job to you, and cancers or diseases that come along with being a fireman from being exposed to all like the dangerous stuff throughout your career. Things that a fireman can encounter is dangerous situations like collapsing of walls, ceilings, and long exposures to heat and smoke. And with that being said, fire departments are always staffed unless it's a fully volunteer department. But as far as the paid department is, that means 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. There's always a fireman there, or fireman or crew. And most firemen spend a third of their life away from their families at home with their families at the fire department. And that means you'll be missing birthdays, Christmases, Thanksgiving, holidays, stuff like that, to where you would want to be with your family, but you have to go off and work. And a lot of things that people don't understand about firemen is not everything we do is, rescue cats out of trees or run into burning buildings and always save people. About 80% of our time is spent running medical calls. About 20% of that is actually a fire-related incident. A lot of things we do is treat sick or injured people. We do a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of hours behind a computer or writing. We clean and maintain equipment because we are expected to perform our best on the job. So we always make sure that our equipment's up to date and running right. And another thing we do, that's a big thing in the fire service, is conducting public education on fire safety. A lot of people don't understand that all the time we are always passing out brochures, flyers to schools, retirement homes, and just people in the community to help them understand fire safety and things to do and things not to do, things to do in case of an emergency. I just wanted to list a few jobs that make more than a fireman. And some things are a manager of a fast food chain makes more than a fireman. A trash man makes more than a fireman. Police officers, construction workers, janitors and correctional officers, and even a cafeteria attendant. And I'm not saying that those jobs aren't important, but there's just a few jobs that do make more than a fireman. And most firemen do work a second job on their off days. It's anywhere from landscaping to working at a grocery store, anything like that. Anything to help bring in extra money on the table to help supply and support one's family. Because it's hard to live off of just a salary with a family. But it's not bad for single people. But it definitely has its time. And a lot of things other people don't know about firemen is that the cancers that we're exposed to, and most of the time cancer-related illnesses that you do receive later in your career are not covered by the fire department because it's not justified as an expense that the department would pay for even if you are retired. So you spend that's always a hefty bill and stuff like that, and it's a thing that on average firemen work about 56 hours a week, and working 56 hours a week, we receive 40% less pay than your average job. And that's just things to keep in mind. And I just think firemen's pay should be increased because every day we risk our lives to help our community and our strangers. In the blink of an eye, we could lose our lives and not go home. So I think it's a good idea to help increase pay and help cover some of the factors of being a fireman, because you do have a family and the medical expenses that are for sure to come down the road for most fire departments, and that is why I think firefighters' pay should be increased.